We have some breaking news on Dolphins today as a bad day has gotten even worse. Cornerback Nik Needham tore his Achilles today against the Vikings, and he is out for the season. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reporting the news just moments ago. The Dolphins cornerback Nik Needham has torn his Achilles, source said. Following the MRI, he'll see a specialist tomorrow, but his season is over. And folks, this is why you subscribe, because when news breaks, we get you a video ASAP. Regardless of where I'm at, we're going to get you guys a video when injury news specifically likes this break especially. Go down, subscribe to the channel, help us get to 33,000 subscribers. We have you covered with all Dolphins news and rumors. Taking a look now at the updated Dolphins corner depth chart with Nik Needham out for the rest of the season. So that makes Kader Kohou, CB2 on this team, an undrafted free agent out of Texas A&M Commerce. Luckily got X back this week. I thought the defense played pretty well today, but X has been a little bit banged up. Kohou actually did not play today. We'll talk about the entire injury report here in a second. Keon Crossan left today's game with an injury as well. So this secondary right now, very banged up. Noah Igbenogany played well today, which was good to see. Justin Bethel, more of a special teams guy, but his role on this team might increase with Nik Needham out for the rest of the season. So X and Kader Kohou going to be the top guys on this team, at least until Byron Jones gets back and kind of takes back that CB2 spot. We'll talk about Jones here in a second. First, I want to hear from you down in the comment section. What is your one-word reaction to this Nik Needham news? Again, we just learned moments ago from Ian Rappaport that Needham tore his Achilles today against Minnesota. He was carted off the field in the first half, did not return. The MRI showing that he is going to miss the rest of the 2022 NFL season. My one word, my initial reaction is just brutal. It's been a brutal last couple of weeks for us Dolphins fans, right? With all these injuries, you start 3-0, but the injury bug has really hit this team, specifically the secondary. And Nik Needham is actually the third corner on this football team to be lost for the season. Trill Williams was playing great throughout the offseason and preseason program. Looked great in training camp, looked great in OTAs. But in the first preseason game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he tore his ACL. He's out for the year. Then they signed Mackenzie Alexander, a veteran that spent most of his time prior to the Dolphins with the Minnesota Vikings. However, he's out for the year with a season-ending injury in his first game as a Dolphin, which was a preseason game, and now Nik Needham is out for the season. So 3 Dolphins corners already have been lost for the rest of the season. And I think a lot of us are asking the question right now, what about Byron Jones? When is Byron Jones going to be back? So let me get you caught up to speed if you're kind of out of the loop about what's going on with Byron Jones. He was dealing with kind of this ankle issue last year. Didn't really miss any time. He just missed one game. Durable player typically, but he did undergo off-season ankle surgery, kind of a cleanup surgery in April. When he underwent that surgery, it was pretty minor. Nobody thought he was going to miss any time. He was supposed to be back by the start of training camp, but days before the start of camp, they placed him on the PUP list. When that happened, we all expected him to return at some point during training camp. He didn't return at some point during training camp. He did not return when the Dolphins took on the Patriots in Week 1, which means he had to miss at least the first 4 games. We're all optimistic about maybe a Week 5 return. Here we are going into Week 7, and he is still on the PUP list. He is not close to returning, at least by the sound of it. So, unfortunately for Jones, a return doesn't seem very close. About a week and a half ago, Mike McDaniel said at a press conference that the progression after the surgery has not been going as well as the team hoped. But after this Nik Needham injury, getting Byron Jones back is even more important. I got to see Byron Jones on the football field sooner rather than later. I'm concerned right now about the Dolphins secondary. We're going to talk about some options in a second. But first, will Byron Jones play this season? Type Y for yes or type N for no, because I think a lot of y'all are not very optimistic about Jones returning. Think that this could be maybe a season-ending thing for him. This ankle surgery he had in the offseason, a lot of you think that that he's Will Fullering us and that he's just not going to be back with the team. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Is Byron Jones going to play this season? I would say yes, but I don't think anytime soon, unfortunately. Now, when you're talking about some different options for this Dolphins team, if you want to go out and sign a corner, you still have some notable names available. Kevin King, Jackrabbit Jenkins, Richard Sherman. I know Richard Sherman is with Amazon, but I guarantee you he'd pick up a phone call if Miami were to hit his line. Joe Haden retired, but I still put him on the list because I think he's probably the best option right now for this football team and makes the most sense. A.J. Bouye also out there and available. So some notable names. That's the good news. Chris Greer, pick up the phone and call one of these guys, preferably Joe Haden. Now, Haden did announce his retirement last month. He signed a one-day contract to retire a Brown. Now, when he was still a free agent and looking to sign somewhere, Drew Rosenhaus went on television. He was asked about Haden to Miami, the potential fit. And he says, yeah, I've talked to Miami about Haden. Drew Rosenhaus' agent. I've talked to Miami about Haden, but not sure about the fit because if Haden signs somewhere, he doesn't want to ride the bench is basically what he said. But he said an injury to Howard or Needham, which we now have. Needham is out for the year. Or a Jones setback, which we also have. We have a Nik Needham injury. We have a Byron Jones setback. That would change things. So that begs the question, do you call Joe Haden? I would absolutely say yes to that. Makes a lot of sense. NFL veteran, good locker room guy too. I'm all for bringing Joe Haden to Miami. And Drew Rosenhaus' agent is also the agent of Tyreek Hill. He's very well connected in Miami, went to the U, lives in Miami. That's where he's based. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if they call Joe Haden. I don't know if he's going to want to come out of retirement, but he just retired last month. It's not like he's completely out of shape. You got to sign somebody. I don't know who that's going to be. It might be a name we haven't talked about on today's show. Might be, UDFA from this past draft. I don't know. You have a practice squad option or two as well. But you got to sign somebody because this secondary right now, it was banged up before the Needham injury. Now you lose Needham for the year, who is a starting corner on your football team. You got to do something. Taking a look here at all the Dolphins injuries. There's a lot. In fact, I couldn't even fit all of them on the screen, but here are the most notable ones. So you lose Trill Williams, a torn ACL before the season. Tua Tagovailoa has missed the last 2 games with a concussion, and you have not won without him. Teddy Bridgewater was in concussion protocol. He did not practice at all this past week. You lose Skylar Thompson today due to a thumb injury. Terron Armstead did not play today due to a toe injury. Austin Jackson missed the last 5 games with an ankle injury. Looking at Greg Little, it is crucial to get AJ back for next week. Byron Jones has not played this season with an ankle injury. Erik Ezukanma, we haven't seen him because of an eye injury. Oblique for Kader Kohou. He did not play today. He's probably going to be CB2 after this. You lose Nik Needham for the season with an Achilles injury as well, a torn Achilles. It's just such a shame, guys, as we're still reacting to not only the Nik Needham injury, but also the 24-16 loss today to the Vikings. This was a 3-0 football team. We were all talking Super Bowl not too long ago. But unfortunately, this football team has been plagued by injuries, and they're now 3-3. That's really what I blame for the last 3 losses, or the injuries. Hopefully this football team can get healthy. Then they can make some noise again. You have an easier stretch coming up. You got Tua coming back next week, but they got to get healthy because right now they're not healthy, and it's costing them. Guys, go down, subscribe the channel. That's the sub link, youtube.com/Dolphins News. Hit that big red sub button. I'll be back tomorrow talking about more Dolphins news and rumors.